Hey everyone, just a quick mic check. Can you guys hear me? Hey Karma, how's it going, my friend? JPR, nice to see you again. It's always nice to see you. You guys can hear me and everything all right? Hi Denora. Welcome, welcome. Hey Music Beats. Mic sounds distorted. Is this for everybody? I think it'll just get better as time goes on. It just might be my my internet. Or maybe your internet, I'm not sure. Your mic is lagging. Uh-oh. Let's see. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get started. If there is any questions, do just let me know in the chat and I'll get them answered. 1 second. Mic fixed. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. I'll just try to speak up and make sure this is the clearest it can be. I'll make sure to get the mic fixed afterwards. I'm not really sure what's going on. Alrighty. So first up, here we do have AMD. I'm just going to go through these, and I do have my levels here. We have the call entry. This is usually the green one here. This is the trigger level I am looking to play calls off of. So the chart visuals, try disabling audio enhancements on your input menu. Let me go look. Let me go give that a try real quick. All right, I'm not sure if that made a difference. But keep going for now. So for this week, I am looking for a bounce and continuation. Particularly, I do like semiconductors. So specifically here, I do have AMD, and I also do have MU, Micron here as well. So we're going to go over those two. Those two are my more favorable individual stocks in terms of semiconductors. But yeah, let's just get through it. So AMD, we do have a nice double bottom here on the we can see this relatively 84.70 level held fairly well both times, resulting in pretty large bounces. So we did Friday have quite a big day. Just for, just across the market itself, A lot of stocks are looking like this. They have this kind of trend line here. I just didn't draw it just because it's really similar on all of them, but a lot of stocks are looking like this right here, where they're on the edge, if not already breaking out a little bit. So definitely something to keep an eye on. I do have a slight bullish bias going to the week, obviously, but just be prepared for both sides. Main levels here. I guess big concern here is we need to get over these these pivot highs. So in this case for AMD, it would be this 99.68 level, and you'll see across the board, all these stocks have this pivot high level. This is going to be your main trigger for a lot of stocks to go long. Like right now, you can go long off of the Friday high. However, we are still technically ranging within, this larger range of incomplete W pattern, so that double that double bottom. We haven't necessarily broken out of it yet. We need to retest this upper range of the consolidation phase, and for AMD, this is in that high 99 region. So my trigger level here is $100. Above $100, not only is that that supply zone up here, but it's also a very psychological level. So $100 is my mark. Above $100, we do have quite a bit of room, in my opinion. We do have this small, tiny gap right here, right around at like 105, 106. So 106 will be my first target. With another target at 109, 110, or sorry, not 110. From this trigger level, you can kind of see risk reward wise. We do have about a 6% move on the stock. Obviously, for options, that'll translate differently, but on the stock, 6% is quite significant. And then you have about 9 to 10% to the second one. Any questions on this? Upper echelons, hey, how's it going, man? You're profile level, but should we get sooner than that? So I do have a bullish bias going into this week. I will go over SPY and Qs, so we can look at the chart levels there. But I do have a bullish bias. I can kind of infer already the answer to this, though. It's going to be similar to what I gave for this AMD. We're not technically broken out yet completely. So you can go long here. You just don't have that confirmation. You're kind of going ahead of the game a little bit. But obviously, if we do end up testing the upper range and evidently breaking out, you got like a great entry technically, right? If that makes sense. How do you determine the upper level? Upper level in terms of the double bottom. So double bottom pattern, essentially, you just get a W path. So just go like this, just to give myself some room. So this is going to be your rough double W pattern. My range, kind of like here, is kind of like this. So this is essentially what this is right here. It's that upper range where you look for these two bounces relatively. They don't have to be, it can be like this kind of. They don't have to be exactly on the same level. However, you do look for them to relatively match. Great. So we do have these two bounds, and in this case, these do match fairly well. And this upper level here, this resistance level, is that breakout region that you're looking to surpass. Oftentimes, you will see, and you'll sometimes see this small break, and then you get a retest of this level. We kind of chill here for a bit and consolidate before we move higher. This is another pretty popular thing that you see a lot of the times. You'll see this actually right here, and if you guys can kind of see this pattern here, this is basically a cup and handle pattern. So you can kind of see how that basing turns into a cup and handle sometimes. Sometimes you don't get the cup and handle and you just, go right for it. These patterns vary. However, this is definitely a possibility that happens. So just something to look for about the 110 level. Oh, got you. 110 level. So like target levels, my bad. So target levels, we just zoom out a little bit. And for here, this is where we go to weekly. So we had this consolidation period right here, and you can see in this area here, there's a lot of wicks kind of lining up here. For me, I typically like to use psychological levels as much as I can when they line up. So obviously, that $100 break. Here we have roughly, it might, the wicks might be like 106.14 technically, but for me, like I'd rather just use 106. That's a logical whole number. And the same thing up here. We have a lot of wicks in this 10, like high 109 into low 110 regions. So, for me, like when I'm actually looking at a target, I'm going to look at one. I hope that makes sense. And this applies for every stock. So obviously, the increments will differ for stock depending on stock price. So AMD, I like to use these like $5 or $2 to $3 increments. But something like like Tesla or something, we're gonna use like $5, $10 increments. Sometimes a little higher. But yeah, that's pretty much AMD. Amazon, same story here. I actually like Amazon quite a bit this week. Honestly, on Friday, I caught this bottom. I just wasn't watching it to be honest. I missed it. I can't catch everything, but just to show you how how perfect this was. This was something that was predictable. Let me show you. It's gonna be better on the weekly. So see this level here? This is where we, had a huge turning point. Previously, back in 2018 to 2020, this level is very important. 2050, and this was previously a lot of resistance here, right? And eventually we broke out. Turning this 2050 move all the way up to 3700, and we're right back down to 2050. So what this tells me is this here, if this holds, this is a huge SNR flip, and what that means is support resistance flip. So this previous resistance turns into support. And now previously we saw sellers back here at the 2050 level. We broke out, come back down. This is now where so this is why this was a really predictable bounce, and even just playing off of this one level, you could have made quite a bit of money. It's already up 10% on the stock just from the move alone. I do think there's more room, however, and that there is more opportunity. My target here, hey, what's up, Anthony? My target here is going to be this high 2400 to $2500 region. Super rough drawing. Just to give it like a little bit more weight, I'll zoom out and draw this properly. So here would be my target. Let's zoom back in. This is going to be my target. We're seeing quite a decent move here. We have another like 8 to 12% on this, on this move. So very, very good opportunity here in my opinion. We just have to be careful, obviously, and we just need to wait for confirmations across the board. And that's really going to be watching SPX, SPY, Qs. These guys are going to be really important to dictate which one. Looking at. So typically, in my opinion, to do it. If you're trading through Wednesday, you can trade that same week's expiration. So like for this week's case, if we're trading between Monday to Wednesday, we can trade the May 20th expiration. However, if we are trading past mark in the week, I typically will look for that the following week's expiration. So it would be May 27th in that case, if we trade later in the week. It just gives you, enough time to buffer. And typically those trades are going to be day trades or at max like 1 to 2 days holds, like max, absolute max. If anything more than that, I will look for a good 2 weeks minimum for expiration of the contracts. And obviously that's not completely feasible with Amazon, just because of how expensive it is. So you can go a little bit further out of the money, play this contract, just because this is a larger move. You'll be able to still off of it even if you're out of the money. So not too far, or not too bad. But above, again, I'm just using a psychological level, 2300. I am looking for this region of roughly 2460 to 2530 to hit. So that is that trade here. MU. So going back to the semiconductors, these chip stocks. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the bigger picture. So here, this is Elliott wave theory. This is a little bit more complicated. If you don't understand, no worries, just kind of ignore. But what I'm looking at here is a potential bottoming. Obviously, higher price action can be considered later on. If this move does happen and I get that confirmation, then I can continue to paint the picture further to the right. But for now, we're just going to focus on this first initial move. I do see opportunity here if we can move above this breakout level. So for me here, you can technically take off of the high of Friday, just because that would give you that breakout technically. However, I want to play a little safer just because I've seen in the market and you've seen in the market, there's just been so much fakes recently. We'll move slightly above a resistance and then just tank. And then same with the supports. It's been the name of the game recently. So we just very very careful. So in my opinion, waiting for this pivot to break. And I like this especially because this gives me a $74 flat level to trade off of. And I'm going to be watching volume as well. You can see down here on this move here, we do have a double bottom. So this does give you that same move as AMD. I draw it out just so it's super clear. We have this here. That's a little harder to see, like all overlapped. But we have this W pattern. We are looking for this level region to break 74 with a target of this 79 region. So taking that trade, that gives us a good 7% move. Really really solid trade, and that aligns really well with the upper line resistance. So this is one of my more preferred long trades this week, especially with you can see here, here, like that, and then whoopsies. I want another one, please. Okay, it's not gonna work. But you get the point. We have these two this previous rejection here at this pivot point, and we are already at this level. So granted, we do retest this pivot point and break above. Almost guaranteed this yellow line will cross over the blue, shifting the momentum back up to the bulls. And another thing that I do like about this trade is that we are seeing an increase in volume. You can see this these green bars here, these two green bars. This whole move down was red, obviously. However, as soon as buyers stepped in, we can see this volume spiked up quite a bit. So I am looking for continuation upwards. My official levels, if you want to take it a little earlier, and front run the trade. However, I'm just playing things a little bit safer. So $74. Next up, we're going to look at we're going to be looking at the indices. So last week we did play triple TQQQ. So that is the 3x ETF of the Qs. So basically just this moves 3 times faster than Qs. But yeah, that's not too important. Same trade though, essentially. But here, this is mainly the trend line that I'm going to be watching here. This here was a really, really, really important trend line that we even trade back here. This was our profit target. We played SPY actually. We played this move from down here, basically all the way up. But this was a really solid trade. Qs, we did break out technically, and it did hold for a good amount of time. This is a good 4-hour candle above closed. So this is 2 times closed above this breakout level. So there is some significance here. What we are looking at here is this 303 level. We do, and I actually let me put that in right now. You can see this live. Call entry. And then we'll put this at 303. So 303 here is going to be that trigger. You can see 1, 2, 3 candles all lining up right here, springing and just waiting to explode. I do think we're going to get an explosion. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be something like this. I'm looking for a dark green candle. All this really means for me is the volume of the candle, essentially. So dark green is very bullish. There's a lot of buying. I'm looking for one of these big guys. I think I see this gap right here, and there's a lot of strength in this move. Above 303, we are looking for this 306 to 307 level, roughly. Obviously, the percentage isn't crazy on this, so this is a good like 1.5% move. But that's why for me, I did alert TQQQ. I don't exactly remember where we entered. It was like down here. Actually, no, it was lower. Sorry, we entered like down here, right here. From where we entered, that's already 10% move, and then back up. We are trading today. This is a good 5 to 6% move. So you can kind of see where that multiplier comes into play. TQs basically just move more. I do think that there's a good opportunity here. And if you're not already in the trade, I would be a little bit careful just because this is a pretty major level and we could reject pretty hard here. So if you're not already in, be cautious. And trade with a little bit smaller size, and maybe average your way into the trade. But if you are already in the trade with me, we did already trim, and we're now. We bought all the way down here, so we're at a good $10 move already. So we do have that advantage of just being able to hold. I do believe our expiration for that contract is June 3rd. So we do have a good 1.5 weeks. So definitely something to note. Let's see, we're at 200 minutes right now. Yep, definitely something to note. I do think this is going to dictate the market sentiment. If we can't move above 303, we do have some move down. Like we can see a good 5 points at least to the downside. But obviously we do have 5 points to the upside as well if we do break out. So definitely a leverage point. Shop. So shop is one of these guys that I actually really like. So we're going to go to the daily. One simple line here for me, and that's going to be this one. We did play Shopify. Whoops, don't want to move that. We did play Shopify way up here. We played this, I think, somewhere here. I don't remember exactly. It was this day, I think. Or no, it was way over here. Sorry, that's more. I thought it was on the hourly chart. Daily, we played this move up here. Um, we did drop ever since, and this area here is a really good. If you go back to listen to, I think it was probably 2 weeks ago on my Sunday watch list, the shop was on it as well, and I was highlighting this level of like 390 to like 425 as a really important, a good level to start averaging in on a call swing. I still think that's relevant here. Um, we're on the verge of breaking out, and with you can kind of just zoom out on how violent this move down has been. Shopify was a $1,700 stock, guys, and we're trading at like we were trading at 300, now at 400. But you can kind of see how crazy this has moved down, and very clear to say that this Shopify is in a bear market, right? Um, in bear markets here, we can see that the moves down they're pretty steady and kind of elongated. Moves up, they're very violent. You can kind of see. So that's what I'm expecting here on Shopify. I think we're gonna get a really big candle here. It's gonna look something like this. Um, in my opinion, like we're gonna get something like this. Uh, maybe not like that crazy, but something like this. Um, it's going to be a big candle. This gives you a good like 26%. If not like one candle, it's going to be a series of candles, like a good like 2 to 4 maybe. But I do think if we can move above 415, I do have 413 technically here, but 413, yeah, let's use 413. 413 here, if we can move above that, I would possibly look to go long. I don't know exactly how expensive these shop contracts will be. Traditionally, shop is one of the more expensive to play. I haven't really looked at it recently, but if buy yourself, because I do think you want to give yourself some time for shop, just because this is more of a swing contender in my opinion, where give it time and it should recover decent. Even from this previous like major swing high, like we have a lot of room, like minimum retracement. Like if this low holds, minimum 540s. So a very good opportunity here in my opinion. Just be careful, watch SPY and watch Qs trading especially because Shopify tends to like follow the market very well, like almost exaggerating. When the market dumps, Shopify will like just die, kind of like Amazon. So just watch out for that. So main indicator there, you can kind of use that QQQ level that I had on 303, like in conjunction with some of these setups where maybe you're not going to take a long on these other setups unless QQQ is above 303, something like that. Just give yourself some extra confirmation. That's how I like to use these indices a lot. As an extra, say the markets are dumping and Shopify is barely green. Maybe that. Unless there's some other factor that's really convincing, but not something but that's kind of the trade I'm looking for. Conservative target wise, I do have 425 and 440, but realistically, this can see higher. I'm just giving you realistic targets that could potentially hit, and I use these with the previous gap that we have created here from early May. Moving into here, We do have SPY. Honestly, I'm not going to go too far in depth into this because it's almost identical to you. Um, I can give you the same kind of level. For me, I would probably use 404 instead here. I can give it the exact level, 404. This is going to be a little bit more convincing. I know this isn't, directly on that resistance, but 404 is a little bit better just because this pivot level. Um, Targeting kind of the same thing from Qs, this gap above. Um, from this trigger level, we do have a good, 1% move to the upside. Not the craziest move, like move in percentages, but if you look into SPX, this is where you get that volatility. Um, you can get, a 1% move on SPX is much more significant than SPY. So, if you have the capital to trade on SPX, then, obviously go for it. But SPY is good for those smaller accounts. But yeah, 404 is that level. So, same thing with Q. Use this level as that confirmation for yourself. So, don't take long trades unless triple Qs and SPY are above their trigger levels, right? So, 303 and then 404. Kind of weird that kind of lines up, right? But don't take longs unless we're above that. And then obviously, if we're rejecting those levels pretty hard, and some of these setups are looking a little bit weak, look to short. And then lastly, I do have Tesla here. So Tesla is something that I do like. This is more on the longer term scale, on the weekly. I do have maybe the daily. Yeah, there we go. So I do have this potentially completing a pretty significant correction. So this corrective phase has been going on since it made this high, November 4th of 2021. It's been a hell of a timeline. So, a good 190 days of this consolidation. I do think that this is potentially an important swing low, especially with all of this volume here. You typically will see this on these major candles. So, here, same thing here. Huge spike in volume. Um, we can go even further back and you can find these examples as well. You'll always see these big spikes in volume when we get these major lows. So obviously, a little pressure, but something that I'm going to be watching. I do like, and I do like this for like mid to long term holds at this level. I do think if we can hold this $680 to $700 region down here, we do have quite a bit of room. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself because obviously I need to see more market data, but above $800, we do have a good 20 to 25 point move. And that's a pretty decent trade to day trade on Tesla. So that's a good 2.5%. Definitely something worth taking. But for me, for this, I would probably play this more of a swing. So give yourself a little bit of time. And if we do see a significant move on that same day, don't be afraid to trim or like reposition yourself later on. There's nothing wrong with that. So definitely do that if you want to. I am looking for a larger move. I need to see some more price action though first to confirm that. But if we do get the move that I'm looking for over time, I do think we can come back to $1,000 like minimum before it hits a new all-time high. Definitely possible. It can keep going down if the market reaction makes a new low. Definitely possible. But we're just working with what we have right now, and just gotta wait and see with more market data to see where it takes us. So far. especially if he backs out or delays Twitter again. I don't think that this Twitter deal, backing out of the Twitter deal, is going to really negatively impact us short wick, but I don't think it's going to have a big effect on it. Um, and I read briefly into the news, so like obviously don't quote me on this stuff, but um, I don't think he explicitly said he's backing out. I believe he said that he just had some concern over the bot accounts and just testing. So they're digging a little deeper onto it, but he reiterated saying that the Twitter, um, but looking at Twitter, I think the news about Twitter is going to Tesla. To be honest, like Tesla is really not going to. This Twitter news like tanked it. I think it actually wicked down to 30. No, it didn't. Okay, maybe not 40. But yeah, no worries, A team. TQQ is a really solid trade. It does have more room potentially, but and we're just holding risk. But yeah, any probably going to be my last video for a few weeks. I'm going on vacation starting next week for a few. So just giving you a heads up. But definitely, always feel free to just DM me or ping me in questions. Um, but yeah, links in the bio. Stonks Society. My YouTube. So you can they're there for you. So that's where you can reach me the best, or just DM me. Just let me know if you have any questions, and I will gladly support. Guys, we'll wrap it up here. Yeah, have a good guys. I hope you guys do well. Let's just stay patient, and we're being prepared for the market. So let's see what, and we'll send an update from there. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday, and yeah.